winner of this will either find themselves in a 6-red shootout or find themselves safely entrenched in the last 16. What will happen next? It's time to find out. Joe Prince then will have the opening break in our final match of the night. It may well yet prove not to be the final action, however, because if Joe Prince wins this, we're going the distance. He's not. The one thing he hasn't got right tonight, and I think, you know, first performance aside, there was a few mistakes, he ended up on the wrong side of it. His second match was brilliant, showed everything that he's all about. The one thing he's not got right tonight is his break.
He's shown the power though tonight. He's really got it going. I don't think I've seen him try and hit the break with as much power as I've seen him hit it tonight, and he was doing that in practice as well. Just hasn't quite squared it up as much. But that break deserved the ball. I know the cue ball was loose, but deserved the ball. The power he showed it. But this is exactly what John wanted. You know, I think, you know, a layout where it is all there for him. You know, it's just a case of find the pattern, find the route, keep it controlled. Keep it controlled. That's not what he was trying to do, but he'll take it.
Yeah, that was the very opposite of controlled there. Cue ball was on the run, and he's had a little bit of a touch with how that's finished.
The only question is, is there enough red showing top left? If there is, then this isn't. It really shouldn't be a problem. It's a case of which order do you take them? Do you want to leave the one top left as your last ball? If you're not, what are you playing on off it? Could you go these two bottom right, use left centre to get onto the red top left straight, and then use the one in the middle of the table just to reconnect to the 8 ball? Loads of room, whichever way around you want to go.
Feels like the most obvious way to go. The only thing I would say is you want to come back a little bit off that red to the top left, and
not necessarily, because it goes bottom right.
Sure, you think actually go the other way and make it a little bit simpler.
You don't need to get onto it. But if you wanted to, you could. You don't even have to pull it back, because you can use the yellow just to, you know, you'd hit the yellow half ball and you'd straight up. You know, you'd be further away from the 8 ball, but. You know, if he's half a turn off straight here, like I think he is, you just punch this out and leave it almost straight to bottom right corner. Just short of straight's perfection. Okay, he might go centre here and use the yellow, because he's got more angle to the bottom corner than I thought he'd leave. But he can still hold it going to the corner, but it might be hampered. Yeah, so he's going centre, I think. But centre's fine. He uses the yellow. You're going to be straight in-ish on the 8 ball. You're just going to be further away from it.
Changed his mind.
Yeah, I prefer that shot. He did change his mind.
He used all the pocket.
Yeah.
Deliberately played it on the thick side of the draw, just to keep this cue ball on a string, which it hasn't always been for John tonight. He's been a little hit and miss with it as he sort of gets to grips. And you had a little word with him before this match, I know, and you could tell from the way that he was talking about his experience so far. I think the speed was just catching him a little bit in his first 2 matches.
Yeah, the chances he had against Megan, they were open, but even open, if that makes sense. So you had to pick a really good pattern around the table to make it look easy. And when you haven't quite got the touch, like he was just off, all of a sudden he got himself in trouble a couple of times. He has improved as the night's gone on, no doubt about it. And that finish against Simon was pretty naughty. But I think he'll get stronger. The more matches he plays, the stronger he'll get. And I'm sort of talking on the season, if you like, is not just tonight. You know, he's.
Yeah, agreed.
He hasn't joined the tour to make up the numbers. He's joining the tour because he believes he can win, and I think he can too.
It's one of the toughest exams you can possibly have as a pool player, is throwing yourself into the shark tank of the Ultimate Pool Pro ranks.
One tricky red here. Red by the 8 was fine. It's the one below it. So what's the plan there? So he played on the double. If you land straight on the double there, you get tempted to take it, because essentially it's a frame-winning double. You won't take it from here, but he can play back to it. I think it's probably easier than developing it. You could, if you were playing an exhibition here, you'd play the 3-ball plant, I think, because the yellow will go away from the pocket. The 3 yellows together, the left-hand one of those, if you played that, I mean, it's a high tariff shot, but the yellow goes away from the pocket and the red sits over.
Yeah, another visit to the table where he's not done something obvious about it, so this is the shot.
Yeah, he's got an angle to move it here. Yeah, it's nice.
He was all eggs in one basket there for John Chambers, but it's worked out.
He wanted to play that shot an awful lot earlier. He came down to play it second shot, or the first shot as he got down the table.
I always think he's tried to land it the last 3 or 4 shots.
He has. He's tried to get there and hasn't quite. I still think that the double probably ended up being the cleanest way to go, but it depends on the type of player. Some players would rather try and move it and back themselves for that tight control. But it's been another beautiful finish, isn't it?
Yeah, this is lovely. And remember, if John Chambers wins, he is through. No 6-red shootout, no doubts. It will be job done, and quite routinely as well.
Playing his best stuff of the night.
Oh, he's fired up too. I think he's got his brother in his corner. I think they've just had a little G up as he went back to his chair. It's good to see that. Just shows how much it matters.
Yeah, for those wondering, the only way they could meet each other in the Champions League is the semi-final.
You've already worked that out.
I saw him last week. I asked him that question. Yeah, it was. They're in opposite groups, but they're in the same half of the draw. Right, this is where Joe has to get going.
2-0 down in an ordinary tour or tournament match. You're not particularly fussed. It just means you probably had a dry break and your opponent started well. Yeah. And you almost look at this frame as, right, I can get myself going now. But when you're starting 2-0 down in a race to 4 with just 12 minutes left on the clock to save your bacon, it's an altogether different experience. Joe Prince is right under the pump here.
Has he slightly overdone that? No, not really. He's played on the red to top right. I thought he'd play on the one top left and then the 2 together to come down the table. Just because I think he could have left this red along the top and then connect to the one bottom left. Now he's going to just get to the red underneath him now and then come down the table. It's not really a problem though, unless you're hampered queuing, which he's not.
What this is also going to be is a quick finish.
Yeah, he's actually deceptively quick.
Doesn't hang about.
Doesn't hang about. He doesn't move around the table very quickly, but once he's made his decision, he just goes.
Yeah, we're not allowed to beeps much tonight with all of our players, really.
I mean, he won that second match 4-0 inside the 10 minutes, or pretty close to the 10 minutes.
Yeah, he flew. He's staying in the hunt here, Joe Prince. He's doing what he has to do. needed a break and run there and got one. It's clutch.
Yeah, that was good. It was a nice break, actually. The pattern was kind of drawn up for him, and he just had to hold himself together, but made the game look easy, which is always a sign of a good visit to the table.
You could probably suggest, though, that he was due a nice break, because I think he's been hitting them brilliantly without necessarily getting the rewards that he might have deserved.
Well, that was his first successful break since his first break of the night. That's how it's been tough for him tonight. Combination of foul breaks and dry breaks. He even jumped the cue ball off the table at one point.
He did. John Chambers with a hell of a cut break. Balls chasing each other into the pockets, and actually the split's pretty good here.
Yeah. Red and yellow have stuck together. Yellow on the right jaw. Reds will probably be the order of the day. Well, they definitely will be. There's no question there. It's just that red in the top of the triangle area. Does it need? It will need a little move, I think. But you've got the red right next to it. Not a certainty, but one you expect him to get. Just got to know your contact here. If he goes into the red and hits it full, he's on nothing. If he gets the underside of it, then he'll be on it, and he knows he's going into it full, so he's going to go into it more pace and up the table. Yeah. So he knew that if he rolled into it, he was getting the full cannon and he'd be on nothing.
Judged it well.
Yeah. Yeah, doesn't need to get close to his next ball. He'd like to, but you know, he just needs to get onto his next ball. Won't be able to get close. He's just going to have to. I think he has to just drop this in and back himself to make the one top right. Only other option is he on the gap to top left, but the one top right is a nice shot in terms of you're playing it, you know, as a nice medium pace stun shot, and you're sort of holding on the red to left centre. He might have the gap though. Oh, he has got the gap. That's nice. He can get a lot closer to that one on the right hand side as a last. Oh, he didn't have the gap. Well, that's a strange one. That didn't look on. I assumed he had the gap to the one nearest the pocket.
Yeah.
Why would you? I mean, that you only take that on is if it's absolutely wide open. The pot to top right wasn't too taxing.
Yeah, I'll have another look at this, because it was a bit of a bizarre one. It did look.
You can see, look, I know that the yellow's half in the way for the one top right, but if he makes the one top right, it's a frame winner, and it's one that you expect him to make. If that was, obviously, if that went, then you take the one he took on, because it all. But if it was that tight, was it worth the risk? He's had a bit of fortune though for the yellow to go so safe at the top right hand corner, so it's not an automatic frame over off the back of it.
You can say that again. It's a little bit of a tricky one for Joe to win. He should win it, because he's got all the balls here, and the balls in this sort of a safety exchange are currency, and he's way ahead. But that yellow is on an island up there. This might take some figuring out. He must win, remember.
Yeah.
He may be forced into a shot that he doesn't particularly want to take on.
Well, he's trying to do it the other way around. He said to John, go on then, you clear up these reds. He's just left this red wide open at the bottom of the table. John's not falling into any traps, and nor should he. At 2-1 up, when the draw's good enough, make this frame last. Even if you lose it in 3 minutes, 4 minutes, you're okay, you know.
Joe needs to figure out a way to make this work for him, because he can't rely on John opening the door.
He can't, but also he shouldn't get. It's not that the fact that he has the next break over John makes a difference here. It allows you to have a little bit more freedom on the clock. I think John should just keep doing the same thing. Just clip off the red. Just don't even. I mean, maybe clip off. We can't see the red at the top. You don't want to move the one by the yellow, but yeah, it's just not worth potting anything. And that's interesting. So he's got ammunition up there. That's why the red that's on nearest the top cushion now, that was the one. If he could have seen that just to pop it off, then it would have become a breaker ball. But has he left the plant on?
I think this yellow now is a plant off that red that's gone up there.
Yeah, but he'd have
the red and yellow together are going into the near jaw, but now the red's up there. I think it's near jaw off the red.
Risky though, because he'll be playing a yellow up there into 2 reds that might not come out.
Oh well, we won't get that far. That's a huge surprise.
Yeah. That plant might get taken away. I don't think John's got an aggressive play here, but that plant might get taken away here. It has indeed. That was such a big miss from Joe. He had to go. You know he's got to push it on. That was a big miss from Joe Prince.
Okay, I like that. That's a clever shot.
Yeah, John, he can re-block if he doesn't make here. Yeah. Oh, this is fascinating. How good is this? Joe's got to go for me. You leave an angle on the yellow to right centre and fire into the problem.
Yeah.
Just open it up. Time is ticking now.
Remember, Joe must win.
Oh no.
Oh, that's disaster. That is disaster. Oh, Joe Prince hangs his head, but so too will Asai Fitzsimmons watching this.
Is it worth the risk here for John? Unless you know this 3-ball plant's going to come out well for you, is it worth the risk? Does the red go? Does the red pass the yellow? Make up your own mind. Doesn't look like it to me. Obviously can't take it from where he is now. Surely not.
Oh, gets rid of a yellow at the same time.
Yeah, but this time it's fine. If you're going to play, you can play a 3-ball. A combination shot off the one over the centre pocket. I think he's a little. Could have done with being a bit further to the left-hand side. He's too far to the right-hand side now. This is a hard shot to get right. Oh, it won't come out for him. It won't come out.
He's got to play a really good shot here. A really good shot.
If you can hit this yellow at the bottom full ball and not leave the red on, I'd do that, but I don't think he can. No, he can't. Doesn't want to pot it. So, John makes this red. Essentially, he's through to the next round. If he doesn't, it's all to play for.
2.5 to play. Pressure pot from John Chambers. What a fascinating frame.
One of my favourite frames in the competition so far.
And a bulletproof 8-ball, 3-1 lead. Joe Prince needs 3 frames in 2 minutes. John Chambers is on the verge. Joe Prince knows he's missed the boat.
Yeah. The shot that hurt him, the shot that really hurt him, was he missed a straight pot to the bottom corner when he had the 3-ball plant available. He'd have played it at a good pace. It was a big pocket. He would have tried to make sure that the yellow came out, and then he would have had control. Even if it didn't come out great for him, he had enough yellows at the bottom of the table then to gain control, play a snooker, play a safety shot, whatever it needed. But there was the odds of him clearing up if he makes the ball to bottom right were quite high, and the odds were low. But you know what I mean. It was. That was the mistake for me. Needs a golden break. Needs a golden break. And
he's made a ball.
Got to do this in a minute. Got to do this in a minute, really.
Less.
John has the next
3
break.
frames in a minute and 50 seconds.
Of course, he's got the 3. Yeah, but you need a second for the golden break. You're not going to do it without at least 1. 2. This clearance, a reverse clearance, and leave a second. At least you've got a chance. Needs the 8-ball to go top left here. It's not the whole pocket. How good's that?
What a shot that is.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah. It's so good. It's gone too far.
That is a ridiculous red. He cued it so well, he made the 8-ball difficult. I wouldn't have thought that was possible. So John Chambers can go and win it outright. 3 in 3, 3 in a row. And remember, he all but lost his first match.
Yeah.
What a silly game we play sometimes. The margins of this tournament tighter than any other. And John Chambers, testament to that. But to your point, and you made it before the start of this match, I feel like John Chambers has improved with every game. He's looked more comfortable as the night's worn on.
I feel like it was a brave performance. That clearance he took on in the second match against Simon Fitzsimmons, to me, it felt a risk too far, but he obviously works out when he makes it.
John Chambers is through in the Ultimate Pool Champions League on debut. He has made it into the last 16. What a start, what a beginning for his Ultimate Pool Pro career. The start of many great results, I don't doubt. Brilliant result for John Chambers. He's fired up, and we'll hear from him when we come back.
Monday Night Pool brought to you by ultimateleloans.co.uk.
Welcome back, everybody. Ultimate Pool Champions League with you on your Monday nights, and on Ultimate Pool Pro debut, John Chambers has sailed through his opening group and is in the last 16. Never in doubt, was it, Johnny? I mean, flew through, no complications.
I might think a bit different to that, to be honest.
Well, I said to you when I saw you about halfway through the night, I said, it's starting to look like your name's on this group. The first match we have to talk about, the way that ended, was just such an unbelievable rub for you.
Yeah.
But what you have to do in this tournament more than any other is anything that goes your way, you've just got to grab hold and see it through to the end. And you must be first of all, just delighted to be through.
Yeah, I'm overjoyed, to be honest, to get through. I didn't expect to go through. I know that's a weird mindset for me because I always try and win everything I ever enter, but not really being on, doing this format, getting used to it, it's really difficult. And like I said, I had a little bit of rub against Megan. I did say to Simon that I hope I get all the luck tonight.
Yeah, you got a little bit.
And I think I had my fair share, so I'll take it.
Did you know that you'd won that match, by the way, as it happened?
No. Initially, I thought it was just a draw, but then now someone's explained it to me. It was so obvious that it's a foul on the black, because the black went in.
Of course,
that makes it.
You say it's obvious, but we spoke to Megan about this, and it's a little bit unobvious because you just think, if I make it and it's not in time, then I've just not made it in time. But the fact she played it early, it was still within that time slot. It is, of course, a loss of frame foul, and she was so good she didn't realise that before she played it. Otherwise, she might have heard on the side of caution, but. We don't want to just dwell on that because there was a lot of pool play tonight and a lot of very, very good pool played as well. You must have been pleased with the level that you played at, given I know that you don't spend a huge amount of time, whether it be on tours or in tournaments and all the rest of it. But it seemed to be that you got better through the night as well, which also must be a bit of a boost. Yeah,
definitely. I'm a rhythm player, like a lot of pool players are, but I'm really a rhythm player. So if I can start off okay, I generally get better.
It just looked like that you were finding the touch. So it looked like in the first couple of frames and chances you had, it felt like you had a pattern, but you couldn't quite get the cue ball where you needed to, and you were always kind of chasing it. And then as the night went on, it got better and better. And that last match, you just looked like you were in complete control of what you're doing. Yeah,
I felt really comfortable in that last match. I was speaking to Joe while we were watching the last Simon's last game, and I said, "What's the what's the state of play? Because I wasn't really thinking. Yeah. And he goes, well, you're guaranteed a 6 red shooter. I said, well, I can relax then. I said, I'm all right now then, because at least I've got a chance. And I joked that I've been practicing that, and I haven't gone past 10 seconds, which is a complete lie. Because the last time I did it, it was about 10 minutes.
Like I said, you've had experience, haven't you? That was a long time ago now, but at least you've had a taste of it, I guess.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think that did help me a little bit. I was really nervous. I try not to let it show too much, but I was nervous, but I settled quite quickly after that. I think
there was a real point in the night where you got like almost like a glimpse behind the curtain and just saw in a moment like how much it mattered. I think you took a great finish out, and you turned back to your corner. I think your brother was there in your corner. You just give it a little bit of a big one, and I just thought you saw in that moment. Because you've been super cool, like a bit of a poker face all night long. Didn't look nervous, but obviously you say you're feeling it. But that was just a glimmer, just to show how much it actually means.
Oh yeah, it means that. Honestly, it means everything to me just to get out there and just perform and win. I love winning. I can't say it any clearer than that. So I really wanted to win. I wasn't expecting much beforehand. I was saying to Simon, I think it came a little bit too early. But now I'm through. It was the right time.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I got to ask. Obviously, we got a little bit of time here at the end of the show. But obviously, new Ultimate Pool Pro. That's awesome. It's brilliant to sort of have you on the series. But I guess let's talk a little bit about that. Sort of why now? You've been a great player for so many years. You've never been a tour player, though. I know. And what's been behind the decision?
I think it was just a case of I've had this opportunity before, and I turned it down to concentrate on the team side of pool, and I just think like now is the time to do something more for myself. Obviously, it sounds selfish saying it like that, but
but you said before the night it's a big commitment, because you're not going to just sign up to this tour to make up the numbers or just turn up to have if you're going to do this, you're going to have to do it right. You're going to have to put the time in and get yourself positioned to win these tournaments, which you're capable of doing, but it's going to take a big commitment. So I guess you're in a position to do that now.
100%. I mean, I went for a couple of practice sessions last week. I was really stiff, shoulder. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't good. I played okay, but I just felt terrible. So I wanted to get here a bit early tonight, just try and relax a little bit. Like I say, I was a bit nervous, and sometimes that can cause tension. And I thought, just go for it and just try your best. And I had a bit of luck to begin with. I possibly had another bit more luck against Simon, but I'll take it.
I want to ask you about that match against Simon, because that finish, the 3-3.
Yeah,
I'm on commentary. We're going to finish this match 1-1. Yeah. And then you took on in my opinion, a kamikaze finish, and you made it. Huge moment, because if you don't get that, what made you take it on, and how confident were you making that?
Not overly confident, but I was just feeling like Simon was backing me into a corner.
Yeah.
And if I'd have played another safety shot, chances are he would have gone, and his balls were slightly easier than mine at the time. So I thought, well, I'd rather go dying on my sword type thing, and I'll just go for it. And it came out absolutely appalling. Yeah. So I thought, well, I've got to play a skill shot.
The shot you played was brilliant, though, wasn't it?
Quite happy with skill shots. I think I play them pretty well.
Yeah. But it was one of those, because 3 minutes left, I'm thinking 1-1's a good result. Go for you or go on. If you win your last games, you're in a 6 red. You know, but I guess you were thinking that he was going to have the better chance to maybe put together a buzzer beater or have a chance to clear up, I guess.
Yeah.
Rather go first than sort of wait around.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask as well that dynamic of you and your brother. Obviously, you're new on the Ultimate Pool Pro Tour.
Yeah.
So is he. That must be. I know you talked about doing it essentially for selfish reasons, wanting to prove yourself and be successful and all that sort of thing. But that must be a very special thing to sign up at the same time with your brother as well.
It is. We've always done pool together. Yeah. Everyone knows the Chambers brothers. Been playing international pool for the best part of 25 years.
Yeah.
Our other brother, he used to play for England as well. So it was all three of us. He took a different path. I think he concentrated on work. Yeah. We didn't. Obviously, we do now. But it is quite special. It is special to do it with my brother. Like I say, we've been everywhere together. We travel everywhere together. So it is nice to, apart from if we ever have to play.
Well, that was going to be my next question, because I know you wouldn't have played each other actually in a competitive sense that many times at all, because you're always on the same team.
Yeah.
So what's that going to be like? Because it will happen at some point. You'll draw each other and you'll give each other a text and go, Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I don't like playing friends or family. Years ago, it'd have been different. I'm gonna batter you. Basically, I'm just going for it. But it's a bit different now when you get older and maybe a bit wiser. And
I've done some calculations for you. You can only meet Rob in the semi-finals of the Champions League. That would be quite nice, though. That'd be a nice time to do it.
Well, yeah, I'll take that. If you can offer me that now, if we can sort it out, I can just skip through the next stage.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh,
It'd be a good story for us.
No one knows. It's fine. No one will know.
It's a fantastic night for you. And weirdly, quite similar echoes to the last time you played an Ultimate Pool event, because that was, I think, now the best part of 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
And you showed up at the Masters, similar sort of vein. Yeah. I've not really. It was quite recently post-pandemic and all the rest of it, and it really was a case of I've barely played pool in about 3 years, and I'm showing up. I know I'm good, and I'll see how we go. You went and won that group, knocked out Shane Thompson, and it sort of feels quite similar, but this is quite a different platform because you know you're sticking with it. Does it feel a bit different in that sense? It
does, yeah. I think last time I played Shane, I wasn't doing like clock management. I think I was like 6-1 up, first to 7. I was just going for everything, opening everything up, and all of a sudden it's 6-all, 6-red shootout.
It's a great game, mate.
I took about half hour to clear mine, and I think Shane did it about 0.1 second slower. So it wasn't great performance last time, but yeah, it's very similar, really. But this time I'm more determined to play and improve all the time.
This time, I guess it's a stepping stone. What's coming next? Obviously, you're in the next round of this, but we've got tournaments coming up, and it's how you go from here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna, like I say, concentrate on being more tournament ready. Yeah. If that makes sense. Instead of trying to just wing it and hope I turn up, I'm gonna put the time in to make sure I turn up. I don't want to be a whipping boy on the tour. I want the one who's doing the heavy wins, basically, and good performances.
Yeah, well, it's the right way to start, isn't it? Couldn't have started any better for you. Congratulations on a brilliant performance.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in a little while, because it's a few months yet until we'll see you in the next round. Okay. But you are in that next round.
Brilliant.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
John.
Cheers.
Just before we go, we're going to let you know what's coming up for you next week. Same time, same place in the Ultimate Pool Champions League. This is a saucy group. Rab McCullough, Sean Storey, Dylan Leary, and the fastest and slowest man in all of 8-ball, Brian Halcrow. He makes up that foursome, and it is awesome. We will see you then, same time next week, to see who joins John in the last 16 of the Champions League. We'll see you then.
Oh my word. Oh my God. Your Champions League winner is Declan Brennan.
Monday Night Pool brought to you by ultimatelearns.co.uk.